Snack-sized business.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Snack-sized Business. I'm your host, LB Adams, and I'm thrilled, I'm excited, I'm a little bit in awe of my guest today. I've been following Tamika Gadsden for years now, and she is the founder of Charleston Activist Network, and I love her perspective and her voice and the way that she brings things out into the conversation, which, if you know anything about me, I love that. So let me share with you Tamika's 5 biographical facts. Okay, so she says her womb mate, her twin brother, was hidden behind her for nearly 7 months because she was bigger than he was. She skipped school a lot. Now, hopefully we're not breaking news to mom and dad there. She says she's worn braces 3 times in her life because her teeth are petty. She has an alter ego named Gunner, which we are definitely going to talk about. And she believes that romantic love is a big scam. She says it's a deeply held belief and she cannot be moved on this point. So, let's welcome to the Zoom activist, content creator, and something else very soon, hopefully, Tamika Gadsden. Well, here we are. Welcome to Snack-sized Business, Tamika Gadsden. I am ridiculously thrilled that you are here. I let everyone know when I was doing your biographical information how ridiculously excited I was that you were here. So thank you again for joining us. I can't wait to dive into the 3 questions and a couple of your biographical things I think we need to parse too.
I'm excited to be here. And yes, I'm looking forward to this exchange for sure.
All right, my friend, I am going to jump into the first question. What conversation do you wish you'd had but didn't?
You know what? When I thought, okay, after you say that, after you ask that question, it sounds like a way out. But honestly, it's not which conversation I wish I had and I didn't take it. I didn't seize the opportunity. It's more so I wish I was more declarative in so many conversations. Like I really wish.
Wow.
So, and I don't know if this really holds up, but in my mind it makes sense. But maybe it'll make sense to somebody else, and maybe it makes sense to you. But conversation for me is something that I study. Right? It's probably one of the reasons why you re-entered my life. I wanted to communicate more effectively. But when I talk to a lot of folks, I've learned, and I don't know if technology has done this to us, but I've learned that people treat conversation like table tennis, where, you serve and then, okay, you hit it back, like a really, really bland round of table tennis. And I think conversation is more like fencing. It's an art form that requires skill and flair and strategy and,
You're making my heart so happy. You're making my heart so happy. I'm so happy to hear that. Because I'm glad it is making sense, because oftentimes I think, especially with women, I think that we enter conversations or opportunities to engage with other folks. And I'm not trying to pigeonhole all women. I should just make it about me. I should be specific about me. I feel like I have been raised and conditioned and socialized to enter in conversations as like a complimentary feature, or just someone who is supposed to be like responsive to other people's actions or conversations, as opposed to being a conversation starter. So I don't know. I think I would just be more declarative and more demonstrative in conversations. So many conversations, jobs, dates, education opportunities. I really wish I would have been a little bit more forthright and led first and not waited for an opportunity to talk or share my thoughts. I love that. That is amazing. I think that, gosh, that's so applicable. Like you said, jobs, dates, education, all of it, conversations anywhere.
I think that women have a tendency to distill themselves or dilute themselves is really what it comes down to. They dilute themselves and they wait and take their cues from what other people are doing and then enter from there rather than being the cue maker.
Exactly. And give yourself permission to be the boss, and no one's gonna know if you're not. Like, look, no one's really gonna challenge it unless you're just being rude and obnoxious. But if you come in, if you enter in a dynamic or a conversation or a room with with this attitude, like, I'm going to be self-possessed, I'm going to be, a leader, people respect that more than more than people tell you. They will respect it. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So much I feel like I could say there, but I'm just going to agree with you.
Okay.
All right. So let me ask you a question. The alter ego named Gunner. Can we talk about that for a moment? Can we talk about Gunner?
We can. It's so funny. It's been an evolution. Gunners had an evolution. So yeah,
so give us the origin story.
Okay, so the Gunner's first name was Tyler. Like, I just thought of like the most like white boy, white bread, suburban name because it's funny, but it's kind of deeper than people think. So basically, Gunner came about because I have hobbies or interests or tendencies that to me feel like a young 15-year-old, kid from the suburbs that sneaks and listens to rap. And, whether it's maybe eating something that's not typically a breakfast food for breakfast, maybe a candy or something like that, or,
Okay. Okay. So that's Gunner. Okay. I'm starting to peek it. Yes.
So Gunner is like, it's like me giving myself permission to be more than just what society says you have to be as a Black woman, as a loud Black woman, as a leader. Like, okay, I'm all those things too, but I'm less Stacey Abrams, and I love Stacey Abrams. Yeah. But I'm less Stacey Abrams, and I'm more I'm more Gunner. I'm more that kid that snuck off and bought Eminem CDs back in the day, and that's okay, right? Like, it's okay to be nuanced. And Gunner's just like, and I started to talk about it to my online community, and whenever I do something that feels a little bit like an Arrested Development moment, where I'm like, that's Gunner. Like, why am I eating popcorn before a live stream at 8 a.m.? That Gunner had his way. And just give myself permission to be more than just what the world expects me to be, and to lean into my own interests, no matter if they're not, quote unquote, they're not stereotypical. Yeah.
I love that. That's so interesting, Tamika, because I don't necessarily think that I have an alter ego, and I certainly haven't named it, but yeah. And you know what? I feel like if I did, that maybe is a conversation for off the air, but
we do need to get together and talk. Yeah. And I didn't name Gunner. It was the Twitch, that community that I'm building on Twitch where
okay. They named it. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, because Gunner is certainly like the most white Germanic name I could think of. Yes.
That's what we were going for.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay. Let me ask you our second question. Ooh. What do you love about what you do? And I would love if you would share with the audience a little bit more in depth about what you do.
Yeah, it's so funny because when I relocated back to Charleston in 2014, and I'm reflecting on this a lot lately because I'm in this really amazing stage in my life. I'm 42 years old, or like I like to say, 42 Pac. Ever since I turned 40, I turned into like a rapper. I know I'm doing a lot with alter egos. I know listeners. I know. But ever since, like, but I'm in this
amazing stage of my life right now. I decided to run for mayor of Charleston. I'm 42.
Can we pause there for a moment? Can we just pause there? Because holy freaking shit. You know what? I'm just going to say that that's amazing. So I want you people out there to understand, anybody that's watching or listening, this woman is running for mayor of Charleston, and she is a young Black woman running for mayor in Charleston. I feel like that needed to be iterated multiple times and reiterate.
And thank you. See, I'm too reliant on sound effects on my live stream. I think your reiterations are very, very good. Do the work. Yeah. So I'm 42 years old. I'm running for mayor of the largest city in South Carolina, and it's it's really been quite a journey. Like, I've given myself permission to, these aren't dreams, right? These are just me walking a path that I feel like I have to walk. And so, you ask the question, like, why do I love what I do? I love walking with intention. I love following my heart, following, my intuition in ways that I never allowed myself to do at any of the other stages. Like where I made more money or experienced more career success, nothing was as fulfilling as following my gut. And also, folks might not know that I'm a content creator, but I'm an activist organizer, but I leverage social media and digital platforms to advance that message. And I didn't even know I could do that. Like, but putting one foot in front of the other, doubling down on that tenacity, doubling down on that self-assurance, and betting on myself for the first time. Sometimes I kick myself, I'm like, why didn't you do this earlier? But everything happens at the appropriate time. I have the wherewithal, and I had the perspective to navigate this next chapter. So I love the fact that I trust myself more and more than I ever have. And that's what makes me love what I do, whether it's live streaming or running for office. I really do love that I trust myself.
I mean, that's so amazing. And as women, I feel like, certainly everybody, but I feel women more because, I live in this body, that as we grow older, we accumulate the wisdom. We needed the wisdom to be able to move forward from this moment. Mm-hmm. And so we needed that accumulation of wisdom. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too. I think when people kind of regret too much of, oh, I should have did this, or man, if I had that chance to do that again, I think we sell ourselves short, and we don't take into account that you needed to go through all of those experiences to even get to that moment of clarity. Sometimes I do sound like an old curmudgeon. Like these young people, man, if I had their energy and their
my wrong.
right, anti-gunner. Whenever I turn into anti-gunner, like, I remind myself, like, no, like, you need to go through this, and the goal is never to be perfect. The goal is to learn as much as possible, and to embrace your own frailty. Your own human frailty is so important. So important.
Agreed. That's amazing. Tamika, you have so much wisdom for only 42. That's amazing.
Well, thank you for saying only 42.
When I was doing your bio, I did reference that you said you skipped school a lot. Do your parents know, or are we dropping a bomb on them? What's happening?
No, my mama definitely know, because she had to come to school and get me back in there. Yeah, no, I am so happy that I didn't become an episode of Dateline NBC. Mm-hmm. I was there. You know what? I relocated, so I have a zigzag trajectory in terms of like how I got to Charleston. I was here before. I was here during my high school years. I had to finish the last 3 years of high school here in the Low Country, and transitioning from New Jersey to great public schools, phenomenal friends, to transition from the Northeast to the South was such a culture shock. And I don't think my parents really anticipated how difficult it would be on both me and my twin brother. But for me, my twin brother had athletics. He was pushed and encouraged to pursue athletics. And while I did as well, I wasn't pushed or encouraged to play. And so I didn't become immersed like he did. So he had an outlet. He had, some friends and other interests. Well, I didn't have that. And so I filled that void by just being one of those rebellious kids that's hanging out behind the school when you should be in class. And, and no administrator really got me right up until it just became, a problem where, hey, you missed so many days. We need to call a parent in and figure things out. But yeah, no, it was an interesting point in my life where I really felt rudderless, and it was really tough. But my mom was there. She's a compassionate parent. She is and was, and we got back on track.
Well, obviously, yeah. But that's interesting. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't dropping secrets.
No, I know, right? Oh, I made it. So.
Right. So here's my third and final structured question.
Gotcha.
What communication advice do you live by?
Ooh, shoot. Oh, I would say don't wait. Don't wait. So I may sound a little redundant from the other things I've offered up in this conversation, but just don't wait. If you're in a room and someone asks a question, be the first one to respond. If someone is taking a survey and they're like, I need volunteers, volunteer. Don't wait. Do not wait. Yeah. You never, it's more than just being a strong personality. It's like those opportunities present other opportunities. Being first, being willing to take a chance, being willing to put yourself out there. They acknowledge that, but also too, it draws other kinds of people to you who see that courage that you demonstrated. So I'm like, just don't wait. Just go ahead and be the first one.
Well, that's an excellent model. Someone has to go first. Why not you?
Why not? Why not
you?
And don't apologize. Don't apologize for how loud you are. Don't apologize. You in a world where everyone is trying to be the same, be loud and be you, for real. Yeah.
I literally was just coming back from a speaking event, and that was one of the conversations. And the event was all women. And so that was a conversation about how women apologize, for everything all the time, multiple times. And there's two reasons to apologize. Like, I wronged you, or you've been wronged and I feel for you. That's it. There's empathy and I wronged you. Those are the only reasons to apologize. Otherwise, just shut the hell up.
That's it. Right. Seriously. Yeah. Did you step on someone's toes when you scooted out your chair? No. And it's hard to stop. I actually have a friend in my life who I literally have empowered her. I'm like, you are my accountability buddy. Do not let me apologize, especially as I run for mayor, especially as I'm in rooms where people might challenge, me on like, hey, what makes you qualified? And I think there are tendencies that I have that kind of make their way to the surface where I shrink because I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you don't know, and I'm apologizing before I say the words I'm sorry. I'm apologizing with being withdrawn and making myself smaller. So I have people in my life that I've empowered. Shoot, I've empowered you to help me, find that voice and be brave and bolder. And I really, really think that that's helpful for other women as well. Yeah, don't shrink yourself by saying sorry.
I love that. Tamika, you're such an inspiration. I'm inspired by you.
I love talking to you. You're so easy to talk to.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your really insightful and honest answers to the 3 questions. It's really lovely. I can't wait for everyone to hear this interview.
Absolutely. This was a blast. Thank you so much for having me, LB.